What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Barrens Hideout Podcast. I'm Spooky Dustin.
I'm Haunted Anna.
I'm Blue Light Little D.
Oh.
In the Blue Light District?
That's what I was about to say, Anna.
Jinx!
Oh, yeah.
Pinch Pokey, owe me a Coke.
That's what I'm drinking. You know, I got my Coca-Cola.
I got
Gotta
myself some zero sugar Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream.
Oh. Berries and cream. Berries and cream.
Just kidding.
Oh, man. This
fancy.
slaps.
But we are here today to talk about Tales from the Barrens number 16.
There's no way. There's no way.
16?
There is a way. 16, yeah.
16.
Where's Pete at? Who said that?
I was just thinking of him. We're on the same wavelength tonight. Old Pete.
Old Pete. But yeah, we are here to talk about Tales from the Barrens number 16. The three shorts we have tonight are very different.
Yes.
Which is great. It'll cause a bunch of conversation, which would be great. So this is a forewarning right now. We walk through the shorts. So if you are interested,
I thought you had to step into them.
we are going to walk through them.
One leg at a time.
I put my pants on one bra at a time. I mean, something like, what's that saying?
One boob at a time.
Yeah, anyways. So we will walk through them. We will have the shorts linked down in the bio on this video. So if you want to go watch them, and then come back and listen to it. Because what we do is we rank them on our scare scale.
What's that you say?
What's the scare scale you're asking me, Little D and Anna? I'll tell you what it is.
What is it?
It is a scale where we rank the short films. Each letter is a 0 to 1, and the letters stand for story, creature, atmosphere, runtime, and effects. Those numbers can be 0 to 1, and our total will be 0 out of 5 for the short. Last episode, we had 2 5-bangers in a row.
We did.
Man,
First.
yeah, it was the first time that it was almost a full 5-banger episode. And I'm sure we're going to come across one of those episodes.
Yeah, we'll get there one of these days, I think.
Yeah.
Or not.
Or not.
Yeah. Or just don't bring heck again, okay?
Heck Part 2.
No.
Hecker.
Double heck. Hecker.
But it's also been a few weeks since we've had a Tales episode that all of these are available right now on YouTube.
That is true.
Correct.
The past few weeks we've been coming with some that are still in the festival circuit. So this week you guys can watch all of these on YouTube right now.
You're feasting this week, guys.
That's
You're
it.
feasting.
Gonna be
Nom, nom,
eating
nom.
fucking good. Eating fucking pepperoni and cheese
Fucking
pizza.
good.
I was
Yo,
just
guy.
thinking that, man.
That
Yeah.
little kid.
That little fucking kid.
Dude, I found the best kid on Instagram. He's this 12-year-old Italian kid, and he knows all about his culture. Don't disrespect my culture. I love him.
You
Yo,
want
guy.
some mozzarella cheese? That's a guy.
Mozzarella.
That's not how you say it.
Yo, guy.
Little fucking kid from New York, dude. It's so good.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw that kid. Yeah. Okay.
He's
So tonight,
amazing.
he's so fucking good. But so for tonight's Tales, I brought a short called "The Coldest Caller." Little D brought one called "Before Dark," and then Anna brought one called "The Lookout." So, are you guys ready to jump into our Tales episodes?
I don't know. I'm kind of cold right now.
Get your swim floaties, Little D.
I'm here.
And I'm going to kick us off with my short called "The Coldest Caller." What immediately grabbed me for this is the opening, because it opens with like an old vaudevillian title card. Like it plays like the 1950s circus music type of stuff with a black and white title card called "The Coldest Caller." Then we get a POV. Not just any POV. This is like an 8-foot POV. Like, you're looking down with this POV. Comes up to the door. And this little old lady answers it. She's tiny. She's cuter than hell. She's older than hell and cuter than hell. And she goes, "Hi, are you the..." And she looks up. And we're looking at her staring at the Grim Reaper. Dude. The size comparison of the Grim Reaper to this little braille old lady is comical. He's giant. She goes, who are you? And he's wearing the robe. He's got the scythe. You know, like, why are you asking that? She goes, do you have any ID? And he goes, huh. Reaches around in his fucking... Anna, his robe has pockets.
Convenient.
Pockets. Carries his shit. Pulls out an ID card that says, I am death. Oh, dude. And she's like, oh, like you can see like she's bewildered and stressing out. She goes, they said you'd be here like quarter after, and now it's quarter till. You know, it's a 30-minute. My day's fucking wasted, all this and that. Convinces Death to fix her plumbing issues. Dude, she walks into the kitchen. She goes, there it is. And it zooms down to the floor with a bunch of pieces from the sink in there. And she takes his scythe from him. And, you know, as he's walking in, like, again, this is a size comparison. He has to duck down under the door frame and walk in like this to, you know, because he's easily over 8 feet tall. He's a big fucking guy. Or Death. Whatever. And she's like, all right, so I'm just going to go upstairs while you work on this. So it shows him they're fucking tinkering with this plumbing stuff, dude. And then he has like a realization. He goes, what the... Like, Death doesn't say anything, but just his mannerisms, he's like, what the fuck am I doing? Throws it down, grabs his scythe, and runs upstairs. And as he's running upstairs, he goes into the bathroom where she says she's going to be. Windows propped open. Death walks over to the window and looks out, and you see this lady playing the Benny Hill music. Booking it. Hops the fence. Dude, because it's funny because she talks about, she goes, I can't really do the stairs anymore because of my hips.
Yeah.
Hop that fence, no problem. No problem. Death's like, you see him, he gets frustrated. He's like, fuck! She got away. Got away. So Death goes outside, and you see him, he pulls out of his pocket, piece of paper. Has her name on it. He just crumbles it up and throws it down. Then there's this little boy that rolls up wearing a Spider-Man suit on a little scooter. Looks up at Death again. Kid can't be any more than 3 foot tall. Looking up at this 8 foot tall fucking monster. Pulls out a little toy cap gun. And pew 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 pews him. Death's like, fuck it, I'm taking someone. And swings the scythe at this little kid. And the short ends. It's a short. It's under 4 minutes. It's the first time I've ever brought one that short.
I noticed that. I was like, this is the shortest one he's ever brought.
It's the shortest one, but god damn it, dude. Like, but again, it's just, there's a lot that I liked about this. So, Anna, without further ado, let's go to the scare scale.
I have to do the scale like this because my pinky's broken.
She's got the fancy scale.
I was going to say,
Fancy
she's
scale.
being fancy.
The Dr. Evil scale.
Hey.
So, the story, it's short, 4 minutes, but we know what Death is there to do. Whenever we see the Grim Reaper, we know what he's there to do. That's going to get a 0.75 from me. Tricking Death into fixing your plumbing, it's fucking great. Creature, he looks phenomenal. It's Death. He looks decrepit. His hand, like when he pulls out the ID, his hand is disgusting. Super long, rotten fingernails. That's a 1 for me. Atmosphere is going to be a 0.5 because all we're doing is sitting in this woman's kitchen and that's it. Runtime, under 4 minutes. It easily gets a 1 for me. And the effects. Again, Death looked really good. And that's all I can really base it off of, so that's going to be a 1. Which gives me a grand total of 4.25.
Wow.
Very nice,
Yeah.
very nice.
Anna,
Yo.
what did you think of The Coldest Caller?
This was fun. Like you said, it's very short, but it's not... It doesn't beat us over the head with information. You see the Grim Reaper, you see Death, you know what they're there to do. And he shows up in an old lady's house. We know what's happening. He's there to get her. Her time's up. Story is a 1. Creature, also a 1. I love the way he looked. The POV, like you said, of him being so tall, towering above all these people is great.
Yeah, pockets.
Atmosphere, yeah, pockets. Very convenient. Atmosphere is a 0.25 because, like you said as well, we're just in this old lady's apartment. But it did feel very British, like a British kind of sidewalk and house setup. So I kind of liked that. But it wasn't necessarily a scary atmosphere.
Sure.
Runtime, definitely a 1 because it's super short. It does its job. And the effects, I'm going to give a 0.252 as well because we didn't really see too much other than the effects on death and maybe a little CGI slice at the end when he hits the kid. So that gives me a 3.5 for the coldest caller.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, Little D, what'd you think of the coldest caller?
I really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed this one. So let's jump right into it. Story, yeah, it's death, and we know what death's going to do. But the twist of this very old, you assume brittle woman who's just living alone, and she's about to, bite the dust. But she plays all these tricks on this thing that you are not supposed to avoid. You're not supposed to at all. It's going to be a 1. For the creature, it's going to be a 1 as well. The design for him is great. And the POV shot with it being cut out, when you see like his robe or like his hood, is great. I love all of it. Even like the detail to his scythe is amazing. I love
Pockets!
Pockets. Multiple pockets.
Fun pockets.
This is where I think I'm going to differ from all of you with the atmosphere. I love the atmosphere. It's not scary, right? It's not, and it's not really meant to be. So I'm giving it a 1 because I love the setting that it's in, this house, with everything surrounding it. It definitely feels British, very, 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 very British, and I love that aesthetic on anything. I just love how their housing is great.
Very posh.
Runtime, it's going to be a 1. It's short, does what it needs to do. You have a lot of fun watching it and getting through it, and you get the ending of him having to take a life because his one he was supposed to get that day is now gone. So it's like, all right, I'm going to go.
Quota?
He's got a quota, man. So he's like, all right, I'm going to kill this little kid. That's how I read it anyway. It was just like, oh, okay, escape. So whatever comes up next, I'm just going to kill it. And now for the effects, I'm going to lump in the film aspect because it's very grainy. It's very old. It made me think 1960s, 1970s. But then we see the little boy with the Spider-Man outfit, and it makes it more modern. So it kind of confuses me as to where this is supposed to be time-wise. But I like that about it. So that I'm lumping that in with the effects. And also, I guess we can do like the little slice at the end. But also, we can even go further and be the old woman is obviously not the old woman. It's somebody dressed up as her that's fucking booking it. And I thought that looked great. So I'm giving that a 1. This is a 5 for me.
Damn.
It's a 5. It's a 5.
There we go.
Great. It's great.
Nice.
Nice. So I guess we can move over to my shorts.
Anna's doing the math first.
Ah, that's right.
That gives us a 4.25 for that.
Damn.
All right.
Damn, that's a high one. That's up there.
Little D, let's head to you, man. You brought a little short called Before Dark.
Yes. And I was hunting for shorts for quite a while. I was like, I don't know what I want to go for this week. Because I usually try to give myself a goal of being like, this is what I want to do. And I was like, I wasn't really finding anything with what I was looking for. So I was just scrolling, and then I saw Before Dark, and we have this beautiful picture of what we think is like a creature with like a skull on it and a bunch of twigs and stuff. So I was like, that looks creepy. Let's dive into it. And I saw the runtime. I was like, okay, so it's above 10 minutes. It's I think a little under 13. So I was like, all right, so we're getting up there in length. So hopefully this draws me in and allows me to continue watching this to see where it goes. So jump in, and immediately the setting, I was like, all right, we're in a fucking forest right now, dude. It's foggy. It's fucking creepy. Let's go. So we're following this guy who seems to be out there hunting for something. He's out there on a trail. He ends up finding some wolves, and there's like a little thing at the beginning too. I forget what it says, but it's like something about a man and then a wolf. I forget what the actual thing is, but so he's out here. There's a wolf. Wolf kind of goes away, and this guy continues going, and then he walks past a sign that says "Warning," kind of like saying that can't be here. Some experimental stuff going on. Blah blah blah. You know, like typical horror movie fashion. It'd be like, you're going into a place you're not supposed to go. And we're like, okay, we're following this guy. What's gonna happen? I'm like, is there gonna be like radioactive shit somewhere? Is there gonna be some fucked up animals? What are we doing here? What's going on?
What's going on?
So the guy continues. He continues going down this path, and he starts finding some clues. And he runs into some clothes on the ground, and he's like, what the fuck is this? What's going on? And he's got a hunting rifle. He seems pretty set on whatever he's trying to find, he's going to go find. He seems to be a tracker. Not a lot of dialogue at this point, because it's just one single dude just walking through the forest. And the atmosphere, for me, I think is very heavy. And we'll obviously get into that later with our scare scale. But he finds these clothes, and he's got boots, see a jacket. He starts going through the clothes, and he finds an ID. And he's like, oh, okay, that's a little weird. Kind of holds on to it. He's checking it. He's like, is there any money or anything?
Did it fucking rob this corpse?
Yeah, it's like, I think I'm gonna do that. And then he eventually stumbles upon this actual corpse, and then he goes a little bit further, and he sees somebody in the distance. And he's like, what's going on? Once again, it's not really any dialogue happening. It's all visual. All you following this guy and being like, what's going on? What is he finding? So as he's looking through all these clothes, he sees somebody running in the distance, and obviously he's got a rifle, right? So he's like, all right, so it's got to be somebody. So he's yelling up, like, hey, who's out there? You know, the typical things. They're being like, show yourself. Who are you? What's going on? And then he ends up getting shot off. And he goes to find this person. And when he stumbles upon him, and I was like, whoa, okay, this is what's happening. This is where we are right now. He finds himself. He shot himself, dude. And he's like, we aren't the first ones. He's even asking himself, like, who are you? And I guess I was thinking to myself, like, if this is me, and I'm in this situation, and obviously I think I'd be able to see that it's me that I shot. And I'd be like, there's something weird going on. But I don't know. He just seems very focused on figuring out who this person is. When I, as a viewer, is like, he should know that it's him. But maybe there's something going on where he sees something different. So he's asking, he's like, well, they're out here feeding, and they're not going to stop until they get their fill. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, then himself that he shot is like, you need to take me out of this world. And to me, I'm like, what is going on in the short? And I think we're about like 6 or 7 minutes in, and all this buildup is him just going through the forest, you seeing the trees, you hearing him step, him finding things, there's little clues. And as himself that he shot essentially dies, he keeps going on, and he stumbles upon what our thumbnail is, which is like this deity statue, I would say. Like, whatever this area it is might be some kind of sigil or something for a greater power, is what I was thinking. Like, this is what they're doing, and here they're going to sacrifice. So he's looking at this, and more wolves are like popping up in this area, and then he hears something behind him, and it's like, oh fuck, what's happening? And as me, I guess I'm catching on at this point, being like, is this going to be himself again, right? Yup. But this one's like battered and bruised and bloodied. Like, he's been through some shit. So as he's trying to like stop whatever's happening, like, hey, don't shoot me, our main dude that we've been following gets shot, and he's crawling along, and he dies. And then that's when we get the reveal of, yep, it was himself. He's obviously been through some shit. And then we kind of cut away from that and go back to the wolves, and it's howling, and it's like you get a big shot of this area that this guy is in. And we kind of just end on our short. And I was like, this has to be my pick for this week, because I went through a journey with this one in a good way for me.
Oh, yeah.
So with that being said, let's go to our scare scale. All right. Story. There's a couple of things that you could pull from this and be like, okay, I've seen this before. Groundhog Day in a way, you know. There's even been video games of being like, you just take place of your previous self in a way, and then you find yourself. It's like a roguelite, you know, how you play like roguelite games like Returnal or stuff like that. It's giving me that kind of vibe of being like, maybe we're not on Earth. Maybe he got ported in some kind of weird other dimension, but that's just me reading into it. So with me acting that way and my brain going, story is going to be a fucking 1, my guy. Like I really enjoyed what this is going. My guy is because there's multiple in this one. Creature. Now this is where I was like, wow, how am I going to rate this? I could say our dude is a creature. I could say our area is a creature. This sigil is a creature. So I'm confused as that what I should put. And I think with me being confused, it has to be a 1, I think, because it's making me think, and I feel like everything about this is its own creature in a bubble, if that makes any sense to anybody listening. Then we're going to go over to atmosphere. As I stated previously, talking through this, I enjoyed this atmosphere a lot. I love heavy fog areas, people in the woods, it being nighttime, and this creepy things happening. It's going to be a 1. Runtime. I think some of this could have been shortened. Some of the beginning, or even just him walking through, it could have been shortened. So with that, I'm going to give it a 0.5. The effects, there's also not a ton of effects in this, but I will say I want to lump in there being wolves, and there had to have been a trainer there for this. So I want to go ahead and add that in, but that's only going to leave me with a 0.75, which, oh god, I just messed up my total.
4.25.
I don't know. 4.25. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. With that being said, there are some things that could have been shortened, or it's left very open-ended, but I enjoy that a lot. So that's my scare scale. We're going to go and bring it on over to Big D.
All right, so I'm in the same boat with you, man. I like this story a lot. Like, I like the paradox that they're in, because it has, like you said, kind of Groundhog's Day. I feel like there is a reason why it showed that warning sign of like, please, like, do not enter this area for these reasons. But they also make a comment about them not being the first one. So how long has this dude been stuck in this time loop?
Dude, that's scary to think about.
Yeah. That's a cool story, man. That's going to be a 1. Creature.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm going to lump in the wolves, our guy, and the entity that is controlling this paradox. Okay. Because our guy, we see him, he hunts down and shoots the one dude that's, running away from him. But then there's the part where he finds, like, the deity or the statue.
Yeah.
Dude, when you hear, like, because he sees a wolf at that point. He's like, because when you see one wolf, there's the pack is near.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So he sees the wolf, and you hear, like, the of the gun. And no joke, dude, I thought he was about to turn around, and a wolf was holding a fucking rifle.
That would be crazy.
I was like, wait a goddamn minute, they don't have thumbs. So I'm going to lump in all that together, and that's going to give me a 0.75 for my creature. Atmosphere was fucking beautiful, dude. This woods, it's a 1, easily. runtime. You're absolutely right. There's stuff that could have been trimmed from this. This could have been easily 10 minutes long. That's going to give 0.5 from me. And the effects. There was that skull on the ground that we seen. We watched the wolves. We watched the wolves eat this person. Old buddy, we see his gunshot wound. And then we see the new shooter, his gunshot and battered and beaten. So I think that's pretty good. Like, the effects were pretty, and then it's dark and foggy, and shit like that. That's going to be a 0.75 for me for effects.
Which gives you a 4.
That leaves me with a 4.
Hell yeah.
Anna.
All right.
What are you thinking about Before Dark?
So I had fun with this, but I feel like I needed some more information.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just needed to know why he was here. Why are we seeing multiple of him? What is happening? Why?
Sure.
Why?
Literally.
Who? What? Why? I needed those questions answered. However, that doesn't mean this was bad. I really loved the story. Like I said, I just needed some more, so I gave that a 0.5. The creature, I wish I would have known, like, what this deity was and why he was doing this to this man. Like, I didn't even take...
Poor dude.
I know, and I didn't even take into consideration what Big D said when it's like, how long has he been here in this loop? That was a light bulb just a second ago. I was like, fuck, I didn't even think of that. So, like, what is this deity? Why is he torturing him like this? What
Unlimited
has this man
feeding.
done? Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
That's essentially what it is. It's unlimited.
They'll never stop
unlimited
until they get
food.
their fill.
It's lava, chicken.
But then there has to be a way that he's being
Logan
cloned.
sings that all the time.
There has to be a way that he's being cloned as well. So there has to be some kind of scientific facility nearby. Maybe this is like a simulation.
Sure.
We don't know. So creature, I gave a 0.25 to.
Okay.
Atmosphere, 100% is a 1. I loved these woods, the color palette, beautiful. That's always going to get a 1 settings like that from me. Runtime, I'm right there with you guys. So it could have been trimmed. Like Big D said, this could have been 10 minutes, and I feel like we would have had the same effect. So that I give that a 0.75. And the effects, I'm going to give a 1 to, because I feel like there was a lot of great effects in this, spread out, even with the sound design, the creaks and the cracks in the woods, when he hears that first step and he turns, you're trained. If you're anywhere in, like, living in the South or you're around woods all the time, like, that's what, as soon as you hear something that's not normal, you just jerk your head. So I related to that in a lot of ways.
He's a hunter, too, so it's like hunter's ear.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, effects get a 1. So that gives me a 3.5, which gives us an aggregate of a 3.9.
All right.
Nice.
For Before Dark.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I had to watch this short 3 times
Your
to catch everything.
Mine or Little D's?
Little D's.
Okay.
And
really?
yours. I mean, for other reasons, but
Yeah.
but yeah, Little D to catch things like when he found the wallet and what was in it, the reveal of it being him on the ground, and then the ending. I caught different things each time I watched it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But all right, Anna, you're gonna bring us home with the little short called The Lookout.
Yes. This is one I've seen the thumbnail for quite a few times, and I've just never clicked on. It was the first one I watched the other day, and I decided to go with it because I felt like it was something a little different than what I normally bring, because it's very simple, but effective. So we start out with this woman. I don't know if she maybe works for like a National Park Service or the park ranger or whatever, but she's in a lookout tower as people who work, well, not anymore, but as people who used to be in that profession would, to keep an eye out on things, fires, people trespassing on, national park territory, things like that.
Sacrificing chickens.
Yeah, all of that good stuff. So she's radioing. It's like end of day. She's got her logbook, just going through the motions. Well, night comes, and she hears some rustling. It sounds like someone is in the lookout station with her. Very the sound design in this one was great, from the music to every little sound. It added a whole other level of atmosphere to it. But then, so she gets on her radio, and she's like radio and I guess bass, and she's like, hey, did you guys send somebody up here? And then about that time, a girl comes through the radio, and she's like, help, please, I need help, I'm lost. She's very frantic, and she's trying to talk back to her, like, where you at? And then she hears the girl scream, and we hear her scream in the walkie-talkie, but she's close enough to where we can also hear her scream outside the lookout station too. So she's close enough to where our girl thinks, okay, I can go get her. I know this area pretty well. It's my job, right? I would never do this kind of job. Like, no, just no. The fact that you are surrounded by woods, it is dark as shit, and you are the only person there keeping an eye over half of God's creation. What?
It sounds to me that you just don't like nature. Like,
I
you don't like. No, like Anna doesn't do,
Fuck nature.
Doesn't do oceans or waters because of sharks. She doesn't do forests because of bears.
Yeah. And mosquitoes.
And mosquitoes are number one. Yeah.
Number one, fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Chinks, you owe me a Coke.
No.
So she's like, and it's one of those moments too where, I feel this way. I get scared I don't want to go outside my house at night just because I live around woods. So I'm like, I live in the backwoods of Tennessee, for lack of better words. So there ain't no telling what's out there. But it's that moment too of I kind of related to in that moment where it's like, okay, you've been here your whole life, you know what's out there. It's nothing. It's just noises. This girl's lost and she's scaring herself, So she opens the door. And I thought in that moment, too, it kind of reminded me of Scream when Sydney is on the phone with Ghostface and she walks out on her front porch and she's like, what am I doing? And she's picking her nose. That shot was kind of set up the same. Mm-hmm. So it made me think of that because she walks out the outside lookout. She's kind of looking around, listening. And she's like, I got this. She's got a flashlight. She goes down the steps. She's walking around. She eventually comes up on this long ass. I knew instantly it was a web. And I was like, you're walking into the forbidden forest right now.
That's what I was going to say.
Dude, I was like, this is Harry Potter shit.
Aragog.
So I knew instantly. I was like, that is some fucking webs. There's a giant ass spider out there. You are stupid. What are you doing? Turn around. But at the same time, she's like,
Go on now.
Go on now, get. So she goes further into this mess of webs, and the further she goes into it, the webbier it gets. And I'm like, why are you still going through all these webs? But the whole time this is...
Lord of the Rings,
whole time this is happening...
White people.
As white people, yeah. The sound and the music is just making it even more scary. And about that moment, bzz, the feedback of the walkie-talkie, she drops it, scares her. And the girl's like, help, I don't know where I'm at, but, blah, blah, blah. I kind of think at this point it was a mimic. Like, I know those are kind of like in like cryptid lore somewhat, but in my mind I also went to Five Nights at Freddy's because there's a mimic in that who can mimic voices of people that you may know, which can draw you in somewhere to essentially make you get captured.
That's not just a mimic either. It's there's Predator, Anna.
I haven't seen Predator, so I wouldn't know.
But that's also a trait of a Wendigo.
Wendigo, okay, interesting.
And that's what I thought about because I was laughing at you because where you said you going outside at night. You live in like the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fuck that, dude.
Dude,
like,
I know.
You don't even know what's out there.
I know. I don't want to know.
There's man-sized spiders, apparently.
Apparently so.
Yeah, there's Aragogs out there, man. But yeah, that's what I think this is too. Like this has to be part of Appalachia.
Yeah, and so she kind of hears some noise. She's at this like cut off tree kind of thing. It's hollowed out, and there's webs going down in it. And so we think that the scare is going to come from something popping up out of that tree. And no, it comes up from behind it. And it's this weird, like spider monster, for lack of better words. I don't really know. It was human, but it was covered in...
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man? Spider-Man.
We had 2 Spider-Mans in this episode.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
He was in his birthday suit.
Yeah. He's a naked Appalachian man who's probably just lived up there forever. Well, I don't know. Very well could be a Wendigo, cryptid, something. This is one, too. I feel like we just need a little more information. We kind of got a good idea that some weird things are happening out there. But as soon as this creature pops up, she screams, drops the walkie-talkie, and that's the end of the short. So very simple, very quick. I enjoyed it, but like I said, I feel like it needed some more to it. So let's go over to the scare scale. The story, I am going to give it a 1 to, because I like the idea of this. This feels like a cold open to a movie. Like now we get the credits, and now we've got the new girl coming in as her replacement. Well, we've had so many disappearances, and we just can't keep people in this position. We don't know why, that kind of thing. So I really like that. Story gets a 1. Creature, I'm going to give a 0.5 to. Just because it was just a split-second look of him, and I liked the effects more than I actually liked the creature. So, I'm only going to give it a 0.5. Atmosphere is 100% a 1, because that is scary as shit. And like I said, the sound design is just incredible, so that makes it even better. Atmosphere gets a 1. Runtime gets a 1. It's like just a smidge under 7 minutes. Pretty quick watch. Definitely a 1 there. And effects, I'm actually going to give a 0.5 to as well, because I don't feel like this was a 5-banger, but it utilized its time well, and the effects it did have in it were great. So, all in all, it gives me a 4 out of 5 for The Lookout. Nice! Lil D, what about you?
All right, so I am familiar with this one because I've watched this before, and I almost picked it.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Interesting.
So that being said, let's go right over to the scare scale. I do want to preface that since I did watch this one before, the reason why I didn't pick it is because I wasn't so blown away by it. I was like, all right, it's cool. I like it, but I don't know if it's something that I would pick. But you picked it, and I'm glad that you saw it and you enjoyed it. So, story, I am going to give that a 1 because I feel like the setup of this is great, and it definitely could be a cold open. Like 100% if the creator of this short ever wanted to go and do more on the story, you already have your opening setting where you're going to be already laid out.
Right.
Amazing. Creature, this is something that I have been realizing a lot with these shorts lately, is that when we have a creature and it's going to be in the short, it's always a, oh, did I miss it moment? You know, it's always like, oh, okay, it's like 1 split second. With that being said, it's going to be a 0.25 because it's like you are building up this entire thing, right? Crazy effects with webs and the setting that you're in, however you did this and whatever space you're doing, and you're building up, and you get into this moment where we're going to see it, and then we get like a 5-second, not even shot of whatever this is, and I still don't know what it really is other than it's like white as fuck. But other than that, let's move on. We're going to go over to atmosphere. I am very, very into where this is. It kind of piggybacks on mine. It's like we're in the wilderness. You know, it's creepy as fuck.
Same
it
woods.
Is pitch.
Right.
It literally like 100 feet that way.
Yeah.
Pitch black. You're alone. In any setting that you are alone in, that's like this. It's like civilization is like miles and miles away, and all you have is a walkie, and if that thing dies, you're fucked. So with that being said, that's going to be a 1. Just craziness. So we're going to move on to runtime, and this is, I think, they utilized the runtime well. I don't think it had anything where it needed to be shortened. Maybe they could have lengthened, like put some more into it, like you were saying, like we need a little bit more story. If they were going to do that, I would want more of the creature. I feel like if we put more of the creature in there, I would have been more satisfied at the end. And then we're going to go over to effects. And this is where I think it shines the most, is with the webbing, with it being in an actual, like, we can assume this was shot in an actual lookout tower, I would think. Unless they just did a really good job of finding a space where they could create this. But with it also leading out of this thing and it leading you there. But I also have the question of, if this person's been here for so and so long, why all of a sudden is she just realizing this now? But then again, I digress. We're going to go and round out my effects with a 0.75, which leaves me with a 4. And yeah, I did enjoy this one, just not as much as I wanted to.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay.
Big D?
So, like Little D, I'm not new to this one either. Back when I was the one sifting through and trying to find shorts, this was one that had popped up on the list a couple of times. But also, like I just said a little bit ago, I had to watch this one a couple of times today. That's because each time I'd start it, I'd fall asleep. Not because of the short, just because I was in the middle of a fat nap. Okay? Mm-hmm.
Fat napping.
Fat napping, dude. Fat napping, kid.
Fat napping kid, yo guy.
Kid.
Yo guy.
Yo guy, my guy.
My fucking guy. So, for me, like, you guys keep saying this is like a cold open, and I agree with that, but I'm giving the story a 0.5. And that's because I do want more. It doesn't necessarily have to be more creature. It can be newspaper clippings or something that lets us know a little bit more knowledge about what has gone on in these woods. So that's going to be a 0.5. Creature. I'm going to lump in the fact that we see this Spider-Man, but I'm also going to lump in the luring effect that it had. Using that girl's voice to lure that woman out to the woods is haunting. Very haunting. He looks great, and I'm okay with only seeing him for 5 seconds, because I feel like if we seen him for longer, we'd be able to notice things about him. And I'm fine with that. So my creature's going to get a 1.
Okay.
Atmosphere, just like you guys, I love this atmosphere. This wooded area, you feel isolated because you are. So it's almost as bad as being stuck on a remote island. Being the only person here. Do you think, with her job, that she has an ID badge?
I would imagine
Surely,
so.
yeah.
Or maybe even a tracker on her.
Why would you need an ID badge if you're the only fucking person there?
When your superior comes to check up on you.
Oh yeah, you got make sure your shirt's tucked in. You're wearing the uniform.
God, they're here.
Dang it! Runtime easily a 1. No wasted time. I prefer more. Like you guys are saying, like give me 2 more minutes. But it's like at the beginning of this, like have her listening to the radio or something else that's telling more story about this. But the runtime is a 1. And then the effects. The Spider-Man looks great.
Every time you say that, I giggle.
Yeah. I love the web, dude. And I love how it's so fucking big. Like, when she walks up and grabs it and thonks it, and it goes... Mm-hmm. Where does that web come from?
Dude, I was just thinking it, and you said it, and I wasn't going to go there.
You think it comes out of his peener? Or,
yeah, man.
Or his belly button?
Painter.
It's his one day a month release.
No, not if he's a spider. I'm just saying.
He's a Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, that's true. I think he shits it out. I think it comes out of his butt. That's how he knew. Yeah, that's how he knew she was there, man, because it tickled him.
Still attached.
That's what I'm saying. He was busy.
Yeah, in the middle of it.
Man.
So I like that. I like the spider monster look. I like the sound design of this movie, like the radio talk, the quietness, the cicadas. It's amazing. It's gonna be a .75 for me for effects, which gives me a 4.25 for the short.
Very nice.
Okay.
And that gives us a 4.1 altogether.
Okay, we got some pretty big ones this episode.
4.1. Yeah, and we even talked about it earlier. We were like, man, the ones we brought today, we feel like, again, coming off of a week where we had 2 5-bangers in a row from all of us, it's just, I was stoked. I was stoked to see a different type of short film brought to the table by each of us tonight.
Yeah, me too. It was a lot of fun.
So, Anna, what order would you watch these in?
Before Dark, The Lookout, and then Coldest Caller.
Yeah.
Longest to shortest, but also darkest to funniest.
And on a good note. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Little D?
I would go The Lookout, Coldest Caller, then Before Dark. I want to end off with me thinking hard, dude.
No. You got to go to bed.
Yeah. That's okay.
Oh.
It's Before Dark. It's in the title. You got time.
It's saying it's magic hour. Before dark.
What about you, dude?
Oh, I would do it the same way Anna said. I would do Before Dark, The Lookout, and then The Coldest Caller.
Man, y'all don't want to think.
Nope.
And I get that.
I want to have a good time. Yeah. So that concludes our Tales from the Barrens number 16.
I still can't believe it.
Yeah, man, we're fucking cruising. We are cruising. Anna.
For a bruising?
I don't know. Anna, you got bruising or what?
Nah.
Nah, no bruising for Anna.
No bruising.
She's a lover, not a fighter.
Yep.
Yep. Anna, what you got cooking over on Give Me Back My Action and Horror Movies?
So we just dropped RoboCop 2 this week, and we have made the announcement on the episode that next month starts Month of Chaos. The Wheel of Pain has returned, and the podcast gods have smiled upon me and given me the first pick. And it's going to be a blast. I'm not going to spoil it here. You're just going to have to follow us on social media and see what the surprises are.
Oh, my God.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait. I can't
It's
wait to
gonna
fucking
be
hear that one.
Epic.
I wish I was a fly on that wall.
It's going to be a lot of arguing, that's for sure. And
yeah.
Pete's just going to be sitting there with his beer like, what are we doing? Why are we
Yeah.
arguing?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. So,
over on Flicks and Friends and Be Action.
So on Flicks and Friends, we had just put out the letter S. Speaking of Spider-Mans, I'm not going to speak of them because we vetoed Spider-Man 2 as our consensus veto.
God damn it.
Yeah, man. We want to do Spider-Man first, and then we do Spider-Man 2.
Fair enough.
I like
But
to do
then-
it that way too.
But then because we have a trilogy still in the works. Anna. But we vetoed Spider-Man 2 for Miyazaki's Spirited Away. That was a first-time watch for me, and it's probably a last-time watch for me, so that's okay.
Oh, no.
Over on B Action, the Saturday coming up, we will drop our 1-year celebration, and I created a bracket of 2 characters per movie, and those characters duked it out. And we needed to find out who was the B Action star of B Action. And by the end of it, we all found who that was.
It was you.
It was me. Yeah. That's all we got. Lil D, what we got cooking up over here, man?
All the usual stuff, plus some,
Wow.
maybe. We'll see.
And some.
But it's just insane to realize how far we've come with this new segment that you introduced months ago, and like, hey, let's try something new. And here we are, 16 already. That's how many shorts? Like 50 something?
60,
40 to 48.
48? Damn. That's a lot
Almost
of shorts.
50, yeah.
But It's crazy, and like we said earlier, if you guys want to check out these shorts before you listen to this, they are linked down below on anywhere you listen to it, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Everything is in the description. So I want that to be known if you guys want to go into it without us spoiling it for you, and I recommend it that way anyway. But other than that, if you guys are listening on audio platforms like I said, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else, make sure you guys are rating us, liking us, commenting, and sharing. If you at least do one of those, I guarantee you would feel better about yourself.
Yeah, you'll release like the Spider-Man did.
Yes, exactly. And also on YouTube, you can go ahead and do the same thing. You can like, share, comment. It means a lot to us. And as always, if you want to go above and beyond to support us further, you can go right over to our Patreon for $2 a month.
$2, Bob.
You can guys get all the episodes up to a week early, plus some extra stuff in the future. Still working on that part. There's a lot of things happening with everybody's shows that trying to find extra time to add something new is a challenge right now, but I promise we will get there eventually. But other than that, make sure you guys go supporting their shows. If you like listening to them talk, go support them. Because it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to them, and it means a lot to you, because it'll also make you feel good.
Good. Hell yeah for hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. But other than that, I think we're going to let everybody off the hook, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Later.